What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for a new video. Today I'm going to release the 120 efficiency fusion, but let's go straight into it. Now let's go ahead and press the button first of all, and then we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the cannon. So different people have been asking me on how to exactly reverse for this cannon. So there's different ways to do this. You can either use the slap burst to fire up the hammer, which is pretty much the inefficient way, because you're gonna use this amount of slap burst to fire this amount up in the air. If you did it the other way around, it will be way more efficient. So when you guys saying that it doesn't really reverse that high, just make sure that it's your hammer that is going to reverse the slap burst up, because this is a lot more reverse than this is. So just a quick reminder right there. Now going into the range of the cannon once again, in the last video as well, some people have said that we should, or I should have made a 1.2 distance cannon. I just want to hear your guys' opinion on that, because I kind of made this design here as user friendly as possible. Get me right. It's I made this design so it looks like a normal cannon, which way you guys wouldn't get too like getting thrown something in your face that is way too different from my other cannons, because I've seen a lot of people is unexperienced in my cannons, or in cannons in general. So that's why I wouldn't make something that would scare you guys away from using this cannon, because it is a pretty good concept and you can shoot very far with this design right here. It's of course there's way to make this there's way to make a shot go further, of course, with a 0.2 distance where you have to realign the power to the back and the things to the front. It will be able to shoot way further, but also it's going to mess up the design we are going with right now. It will actually make it so you wouldn't be able, like newer cannoners wouldn't really be able to look at the cannon and say, oh, okay, well, how do I change the hammer? How do I disable different things? And people will be very confused about that, and they wouldn't be able to how to change it to reverse and stuff like that. So therefore, I choose to use this design right here. Now, of course, this is not the best design. Of course not. There's designs out there that will be able to shoot this way further, as I said before. But this right here is mainly focused on making it look like a normal cannon, therefore also creating this little, I don't know if you can call it effect, where it looks so normal that you guys will be able to change all the general settings. That's just normal, like the hammer right here. On all my cannons, the hammer is right here, as well as the slap burst is right here. The scatter's in the same place. Everything is in the same place. Therefore, I thought it would be, oops, that's not the button. I thought that would be a lot better. And I gotta be honest, like I haven't got that many questions about how to configure this cannon right here. But when I released that 255, I'm pretty sure, where we didn't have it like this, there was so many questions, and how do I water it? How do I do all these things? So therefore, I try to create something that wouldn't feel too different, you know? So it wouldn't be too I don't know what you can call it. Yeah, too different. I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking for. So that's why I made this design right here. If you guys would like to see a 0.2 distance one, well, we could definitely do one of those as well. No worries about it. I actually think I have one on my private server as well. I can go and show you what it looks like and how far I can shoot. But for now, let's go ahead and release these cannons here, because I know a lot of you guys are enjoying it so far. Even though, of course, you'll be able to shoot further with another design, but it's the same with all cannons. But let's go ahead and see. Right now we are at around, if I'm correct, 16, 17 junks. So it's not too shabby. And of course everything doesn't dip, so meaning you can go through filters. Even though there's tons of filters right here, you'll just be able to go right through them. There's not really anything that stops this cannon besides region walls and stuff like that, where you're gonna need to region bust and all that sorcery. Now shoot one more time here, and while we do that, this right here is the 120, meaning the platform goes to 120. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, why do we build this cannon exactly? And of course, the platform goes at Y120. It goes with all my cannons. So right here we have the 100 stacker. It goes at Y100. Right here we have the 80. It goes at Y80, and the 60 goes at 60. So on, and the same way, like all the way up to 230. I'm pretty sure. Then at the 240, that's where the cannon gets a little bit too big. So you need to smoothen it a little bit out. So it might be a little bit different right there. But I'm gonna let you guys know in the comment or in the description if you guys need to build at a lower Y level. I will always do that. Now we are hitting the 20 chunk limit for the buffer, I'm pretty sure. And then plus minus chunk is like, yeah, right here. Because we build, this right here is the counter. This right here is the first chunk. Meaning, of course, there's no walls right here. So it's around two chunks, 2.5 chunk, or 1.5 chunk, sorry. So we are pretty much through the entire buffer of the world without adding any ticks or adding any power, anything related to that. And we're still going. Of course, right now we will be shooting inside the base, which is pretty cool as well. Or maybe you have to build your cannon a little bit further away from the walls. Then this right here is pretty much still the walls, but you get the idea of it. And let's see where the cannon starts to stop working. Where we at now? We are like plus 1.5. We have 23.5 chunks. So around here, this is why the cannon kind of starts to stop working. And you can either add a hammer tick, or you can add more power. That's pretty much it. But right now we're shooting 24 chunks. This is where it stops. Yep, this is right here. You see where right here is where the hammer blew up. So if you added one tick, everything will go right here. We'll stack and do whatever, all fancy shit. But this is pretty much it. So add a tick if you wanted to the hammer, or you can just go ahead and add more power. I suggest adding more power because as soon as you add that one tick to your hammer, the cannon starts to dip one block. Meaning if you're shooting through obsidian, the cannon is going to dip one block and therefore not destroying the obsidian. But if it was a normal cobblestone like down there, it will work just fine. It's just if it's obsidian, then it's gonna dip one block. But that's pretty much it. Now going into the cannon itself, we have here sand compression that is a one push. Now I do it a single-sided because it's a little bit more smooth, and especially when we're cannoning at low Y level, we don't really need a big sand compression. This right here is Y120, so of course we can stack it all the way up and just shoot it multiple times. Doesn't really affect that if we're gonna have a dual sand compression on it. So right here we see the wet sand. The wet sand comes in from right here. It's getting pulsed. It's getting pushed by the power. It's getting pushed into this block right there, and then it's getting pushed out from there. The sand goes above right here, and of course that is going to dip before it starts hitting. Let me see if I can actually show you guys. There's some visual glitches and stuff like that. That's gonna make it impossible for us to exactly look at it. But as you probably saw, you saw the sand coming in, and then maybe 2 ticks after, that's where it blew up. That's because we want everything to be on the trapdoor when we fire it out. Therefore, creating the same force for both sand, hammer, scatter, wet sand, you name it, slap bust even. Of course, the slap bust will be able to go way further than all others because it's actually directly onto the the trapdoor. This is, of course, nothing we can do about because we can't have everything going from the top. But this gives the most velocity to all the items right here, and then it's going to shoot it out. So there's no way any of these things are going to dip. Meaning, if there were a ton of filters right here, if this was all filters, it will still be able to go through it like it was nothing. Of course, when it's fusion, it's one block, so you will see that. And of course, when it dips, then it's going to get stuck on a filter. So you wouldn't be able to find yourself getting stuck on filters and stuff like that. It is always going to work in a way where everything dips at once. So if you had your, let's say, let's have a shot right here. This right here is your shot. This right here contains your hammer, your sand, your slap bust, your scatter, everything in here. And whenever you shoot it from the cannon, which is right this dirt spot. Oh, all right, not that block. All right, it's this dirt block. Then whenever it dips, then everything dips at once. Meaning your hammer, sand, slap bust, everything is going to dip. Of course, not a full block, but you get what I mean. It's probably going to dip like a trapdoor size or whatever. So everything dips at once, therefore you will not be able to find yourself stuck on filters, because your obsidian, which is right here, is going to represent a filter. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit higher up, like this. There we go. And then if we had our filter right here, there we go, and then, yep, There we go. This is just small size, but you get what I mean. There's supposed to be a space of 2 in between, but I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm talking about. So this right here is our filter. So let's pretend that there's 2 blocks in between these. So there's like 2 blocks like that in between. The shots comes in, and of course we'll be able to go through this just fine. And if it dipped, if the cannon dips, then everything will dip and get stuck on this one right here. It gets stuck right there, but not either the sand or whatever is going to continue this way, because everything is going to dip the exact same size every time. So everything is going to get stuck on this filter, and it's going to blow this up, and then it's going to be continue here over here and blow this up, and then it will just be able to go right through it. So that way you wouldn't be able to find yourself stuck on filters, which is a pretty good idea, because you don't want to find yourself stuck on filters like 15 chunks in. That's when like filters are most effective. If the further the filter is away, the bigger is the chance that your cannon will actually dip and get stuck on the filters. This is basically why filters are there, to make sure that if your cannon dip, you're gonna pay for it. That's pretty much it. Going out to the scatter, it's around 40 blocks, 38 maybe. We could make it a little bit bigger, but there's not really any reason to make it bigger. It's already big as it is right now. If you look right here, the sand is all the way down there, so it's pretty big. So I wouldn't really mess with it too much, because it's looking good so far. Over here we have the obsidian breaker, and of course if your server has the durability over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so if your server has an obsidian durability over 8, this one right here will not one-shot it. But most servers have it like durability 5, I'm pretty sure, so therefore this will work just fine. Of course, if you enable this one, make sure you disable your main scatter resist down here, because you wouldn't need it if you're gonna have this one right here, and something might fuck up, because this one here is going to blow up before the obsidian breaker. Therefore, it's gonna count this as the break instead of this up here. I'm pretty sure it is. So just make sure that whenever you use the obsidian breaker, you disable this one here and use this one here instead, because I just told you. Now the slab boss over here, I made a space in between right here, so you will be able to reverse down and stuff like that if you want to. Basically, if you put a tick onto your slab boss, it's going to act like a hybrid shot if you have sand in your sand compression. Just one sand is enough. Then it's going to fire everything down and make a hybrid shot. This will go all the way down to Y0, which is pretty cool if you're going high up in the base. You can definitely use this for that. The same with this one down here. This right here is pretty much what open and closes your slab boss. So whenever everything goes right here, you don't want this to be open right there, because then everything just fly up there and not really do anything. So it's important that you have this right here to close it off. Other than that, guys, not really much more into this cannon right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video here. And if you do remember to like this video here, comment down below what you guys think about this design right here. Would you suggest that I would do another series where there's 0.2 distance instead? Or would you just prefer just having these on my channel here, since they're a lot more user friendly? But let me know down in the comment. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video here. Remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Sexter, and I'm out.